next day we left Disney Springs and headed off to Port Canaveral for our first ever cruise around the Caribbean on the Harmony of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. The Harmony of the Seas is the third largest cruise ship in the world, and you couldn't really appreciate how big that was going to be until you saw it in person. It has tons on offer for entertainment, food, drink and even ice skating.
We watched the ship leave port from the top deck and then headed to our room before trying to make ourselves more familiar with the ship.
Our room is an interior room with a virtual balcony. It has a king bed which is really comfy to sleep on. Further from the bed is a sofa, which we're using as storage, although there are 2 wardrobes either side of the bed as well. There is also a large set of drawers for storing more clothes and a desk to work at. The virtual balcony definitely makes the room feel more connected to the outside and shows live images from outside of the boat. Walking back towards the white door, you reach the bathroom, which was more spacious than I realised. It has a good sized shower and mirror, and we're both really surprised and impressed by the room.
We took the lift down from our room on deck 10 to deck 5, which has the largest interior space known as the Royal Promenade. There are a number of bars, shops and restaurants that run along the length of the promenade, with activities or entertainment happening in a number of them throughout the day.
One of our favourite places along the promenade was Sorrento's, that does complimentary pizza throughout the day until early in the morning, and was always an easy option if you found yourself hungry.
The Royal Promenade has some of our favourite bars on. In the middle of the promenade is a bar called the Rising Tide Bar. Every 15 minutes or so, the bar lifts up slowly to take you up to deck 8. We quite liked that it was separated from the crowds on an evening, and it gave you a different view. Another bar we liked was the Bionic Bar. This used 2 robots to quickly make your drink order, which you made on one of the many tablets around the bar area. You could fully customise what you wanted in your drink or choose from the large list of already provided options. If you wanted a quick drink, the Bionic Bar was great.
Deck 5 also housed one of the entrances to the Royal Theatre, which had many different shows while we were on board, including Grease and a stand-up comedy performance. We enjoyed all the performances in the Royal Theatre, and it was a great place to see a show after having your evening meal.
Surrounding the outside of deck 5 was a running track that we didn't use, although it was quite a nice part of the ship with some outdoor seating available.
Continuing up from deck 5, deck 6 houses the Boardwalk area. The Boardwalk is at the back of the ship and has a couple of restaurants and even a carousel. Moving further into the Boardwalk is the exit of the huge mat slide on the ship, which takes you down from deck 15, called the Ultimate Abyss. There are 2 rock climbing walls that are free for guests to use during the cruise, and at the end of the Boardwalk is the Aqua Theatre. While we were on the cruise, the Aqua Theatre had a show called The Fine Line, which used a combination of dance, diving and acrobatics to put on an amazing show that we watched twice during our time on the cruise.
Also on deck 6 was the Schooner Bar, which we went to during the day for various types of quizzes and trivia when we were at sea. Sometimes it was hard to get a seat where you could hear the questions, but we managed most of the time. Deck 8 has one of the most interesting areas on the ship, although we probably spent the least amount of time here, and it's called Central Park. It has many different restaurants which are more geared towards higher end dining, as well as designer shops and jewellery. It was always nice for us to walk through, although we never really had a reason to visit there since there was no entertainment during our time there.
15 and 16 are at the top of the ship and have plenty of space to lounge in the sun or sit by one of the two pools. At the back of deck 15 are more sporty areas including a basketball court and the floor rider surfing location. There are also less intense sports which we didn't included table tennis and mini golf. At the front of deck 15 is the Solarium, which we tended to spend most of our time during the day. It is adults only, so is generally quieter than other parts of the ship with plenty of choice of seating so you do not end up sat on top of each other. There are also 3 separate hot tubs and great views out the front of the ship.
It took us a couple of days to learn our way around everything the ship had to offer, but we enjoyed everything we tried. Our next video will show off the locations and ports that we stopped off during our time on the cruise.